It's great to be here today at the Greater Glasgow Person-Centred Visiting event, kicking off a real strong focus on improving experience for families and for people who are patients in the hospital here. There's a real strong national focus at the moment on person-centred visiting because we recognise the importance of helping people to stay connected at times in their lives where they're experiencing difficulty, where they may be unwell, where they may be facing challenging circumstances. And we know that when we help people to stay together, it helps them to cope better with those situations, and it helps them to get out the other side and start to find recovery where possible or coping mechanisms. In the past, we haven't been very good at this. Set visiting times tend to be a one-size-fits-all approach, and we now have a very strong focus from government right down through the system on making sure that the system is able to, the healthcare system, the social care system, is able to flex to the needs of individuals and their families. Now this means that we're going to have to think differently about the way we do things, and we've had some great questions today at the event focusing on some of the real challenges that we will face in having to work in a way which we're not used to working. But I also detected in the room this morning a very strong determination and focus on making sure that those challenges are overcome. Recognising that this is not necessarily the easy thing to do, but it's the right thing to do.
Today has been good so far to talk about things like the unconscious bias of possibly staff who don't realise that they do have a bias there when it comes to family coming in at times when it maybe doesn't suit the staff. So these are the sort of barriers that maybe have to be overcome when it comes to, making change, progress on the patient-centred visiting.
What I've seen that's been real positive was a chat from Marion, who was talking about her daughter Laura. I was really kind of taken aback with her story, but I found it really informative as a student nurse that's what kind of her feelings were, how she was being treated, and I thought that was something that would help me in my future career in nursing, to take a minute to just think about, listen to the families and take note that they are there to help. They're not there to be a hindrance, they are there to help.
This afternoon I would hope that we would take the time to think really, really deeply about why we want to take forward person-centred care, what our own individual roles in that are, and how we can influence and raise awareness of that with other people that we work with, other members of the multidisciplinary team, with the doctors and other professionals who come to our wards and departments, and really start to open up that dialogue about why it's important and what contribution we have to promoting person-centred visiting.
Oh, definitely when I was listening this morning, I will be explaining the impact that it can have on the patient and how much the visiting and the family around them and them being with the people they feel safe with is so important in their recovery as well. So that's probably the main focus I'll take back to the ward.
So I've actually bumped into somebody that was my senior charge nurse in years gone by, and we were talking about our perception of patient-centred visiting and different ideas that our staffs have now come up with. And one of my biggest worries about patient-centred visiting that we become more focused on pleasing the visitor rather than the actual patient in the bed. But it's encouraging us to share good practice. Like, we have a patient just now in the ward who unfortunately is a young patient who's at the end of his life, and we've accommodated his mum who at home would share a bed with the patient and look after the patient. So we've provided a slightly larger bed so that she can maintain that in his final days, and she's actually voiced that that's easing the burden of this time at the patient's life. So I think it's opening dialogue to say, well, we've done this, or what did you do that made that patient happy, and just learning from each other and being a bit more open and a bit more open to changing culture and practice.